Have you ever asked yourself, why do bad things always happen to good people? Maybe it was after losing someone you love, or when facing unexpected challenges in life. It feels like life is playing favorites, doesn't it? But let me ask you this. Is life truly unfair? Or do we see only the hardships and overlook the lessons and blessings that come with them? Today, let's dive into this question together with Eon Haven. We'll explore life's unpredictability, the way our minds focus on negativity, and how we can find growth and meaning even in the toughest moments. Along the way, I'll share simple strategies and inspiring stories to help you shift from frustration to fulfillment. To listen life-changing stories every day, please subscribe us Eon Haven channel. So sit back, relax, and let's begin. Let me ask you, have you ever found the unpredictable nature of life? Life is unpredictable. It doesn't follow a script. Unlike movies or books, where the hero always wins, real life is filled with twists and turns we can't foresee. Think about this. How often have you planned your day, only to have something unexpected change everything? A flat tire, an emergency call, or even a sudden stroke of luck. It's proof that life doesn't stick to a plan. Let me tell you about Sarah. She was a small business owner who spent years building her dream. She worked tirelessly, pouring her heart into it. Then, one day, a flood destroyed her shop. It was heartbreaking, and she couldn't stop wondering, why me? But after some time, she started to rebuild. Not just her shop, but her perspective. She said, I realized that life's unpredictability isn't personal. It's just how life is. The only thing I can control is how I respond. This is a powerful truth. Life's uncertainty can feel overwhelming, but it's also what makes life meaningful. Imagine if everything were predictable. There'd be no surprises, no growth, and no resilience. Key message to remember. Accept that uncertainty is part of life. Instead of resisting it, embrace it as an opportunity to adapt and grow. Did you know the power of perspective? Now, let's talk about how we see the world. Did you know that our minds are wired to focus on negativity? It's a survival instinct from ancient times when humans needed to stay alert to dangers. But here's the catch. This negativity bias doesn't serve us well in today's world. Instead, it keeps us fixated on what's wrong while ignoring what's right. Here's an example. John, a family man, lost his job during an economic downturn. For weeks, he felt hopeless, replaying all the what-ifs and blaming himself. But one day, he decided to make a list of what he still had: his supportive wife, his skills, and his health. That simple act of gratitude shifted his mindset. He used his time to learn new skills, eventually landing a job that brought him more satisfaction than ever before. Practical tip. When negativity takes over, try this exercise. Every evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They can be as simple as a warm cup of coffee or as big as a loved one's support. Over time, this practice rewires your brain to notice the positives. Key thing to remember, where you focus, your energy flows. Shift your perspective to gratitude, and you'll start to see the light even in dark times. Have you ever thought that life is like a book? Have you ever thought of life as a book? Each chapter tells a different story. Some are joyful, others are heartbreaking, and a few are filled with adventure. But here's the thing. If you stop reading because you hit a sad chapter, you'll miss the rest of the story. The same goes for life. Let me share the story of Lisa. She went through a tough divorce, a chapter she described as the hardest part of her book. For months, she felt stuck, unable to move forward. But then she decided to turn the page. She joined a hiking club, made new friends, and started focusing on what made her happy. Years later, Lisa told me, that sad chapter taught me resilience and self-worth. Without it, I wouldn't have the happiness I have today. So don't stop at the sad chapters. Keep turning the pages, because the best parts of your story might still be ahead. Growth through challenges. Challenges are like weights at the gym. They feel heavy, but they make us stronger. Think about Thomas Edison. He's famous for inventing the light bulb, but did you know he failed over 1,000 times before succeeding? When asked about his failures, he said, I didn't fail. I found 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's the mindset of growth. Challenges aren't there to break us. They're there to build us. I remember a time when I faced a significant personal setback. At first, it felt unbearable. But as I worked through it, I realized that the experience taught me patience and empathy. Today, I look back and see that challenge as one of the greatest teachers in my life. Practical tip: when facing a problem, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Shifting your mindset from victimhood to growth will help you rise above the situation. You grow through what you go through. Challenges aren't the end of the road. They're stepping stones to something greater. Always ready to accepting life's unfairness. Now, let's address a hard truth. Life isn't always fair. Sometimes, no matter how good we are or how hard we try, things don't go our way. But here's the thing. Expecting life to be fair sets us up for disappointment. Think of Martin, a young professional who faced workplace discrimination. At first, he felt crushed, but instead of dwelling on the unfairness, he started a support group for others going through similar struggles. His efforts didn't just help him heal, they also inspired change in his organization. So, life's unfairness isn't something we can control. What we can control is how we respond. Instead of waiting for fairness, create your own opportunities for growth and fulfillment. How focusing on positivity will help you. Finally, let's talk about positivity. It's not about ignoring life's struggles. It's about choosing to see the good despite them. Imagine standing in a room with a tiny crack in the wall. If you stare at that crack long enough, it becomes all you see. But if you step back, you'll notice the beautiful painting hanging beside it. Positivity works the same way. Focusing on the bright side doesn't erase the cracks in life, but it helps us appreciate the beauty that surrounds them. Practical tip: each morning, ask yourself, what's one thing I'm excited about today? This small habit sets a positive tone for the day and keeps your focus on what's uplifting. Remember, positivity is a choice. By focusing on the light, you bring more happiness and energy into your life. Let's recap what we've learned today. 1. Life is unpredictable. Accept its uncertainties and focus on what you can control. 2. Shift your perspective to gratitude to break free from negativity. 3. Treat life like a book. Keep turning the pages, even in tough chapters. 4. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. 5. Accept life's unfairness, but don't let it define you. 6. Focus on positivity to bring light into your life and the lives of others. In conclusion, life is never perfect, and challenges will always come our way, but it's not about avoiding the storms, it's about learning to dance in the rain. The next time you face a setback, remind yourself, this is just one chapter in your story. You have the power to turn the page, learn the lesson, and keep moving forward. Bad things may happen, but they don't define you. What defines you is your courage, your resilience, and your ability to find light in the darkness. Thank you for listening to Eon Haven Stories today. Remember, your story is still unfolding, and the best chapters are yet to come. Keep going, keep growing, and keep shining. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe Eon Haven for more content on relationships and personal growth.